All right, let's dive in. If you're trying to figure out the complex and, let's be honest, often expensive world of enterprise GPUs, you know that making the right virtualization choice is absolutely critical. So today, we're going to break down the three main strategies, pass-through, vGPU, and MIG, to help you match the right technology with what you actually need to get done.
Okay, before we jump into the fun stuff, we have to do the important disclaimer. So, just so you know, this is Module 18 of a larger 20-part tutorial. It's really just a general overview based on a much bigger report from Virtualization Options LLC. This means it's not specific legal, financial, or technical advice for your situation. We always recommend that you talk to your own professionals before you take any action. And one more thing, GPU licensing is, well, it's a minefield. So please pay very close attention to the licensing side of things, which we actually covered back in Module 14.
All right, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll tackle the main reason we're even having this conversation, the GPU sharing challenge. Then we're going to look at each of the three big technologies, the direct path with GPU pass-through, the shared approach with vGPU, and the powerhouse that is MIG. After that, we'll connect the dots and see how to match these to real-world workloads, and then finally, we'll wrap it all up to help you make your strategic choice.
So what is the fundamental problem we're all trying to solve here? Well, it really boils down to one thing. GPUs are amazingly powerful, but they are also incredibly expensive, and in a lot of places, they just sit there, not doing much, which is just a huge waste of money.
And this quote right here, this gets right to the heart of it. The entire goal of GPU virtualization is to take that one big, expensive piece of hardware and slice it up so that lots of different users or applications can share it. It's all about getting the most bang for your buck by making sure that pricey asset is always working for you.
Let's start with the simplest, most direct way to do this, GPU pass-through. If you think about one thing here, think maximum performance. This is all about giving one person the keys to the kingdom. You know, the concept here is actually pretty straightforward. Pass-through gives a single virtual machine total, exclusive, direct control over one physical GPU. The hypervisor just steps aside. And I love this analogy of a dedicated company sports car. It's all yours. All the power, all the speed, and you don't have to share it with anyone.
Now this is where it gets really interesting because it's all about the trade-offs. Look at that performance row. You're getting 95 to 99% of bare metal speed. That's incredible. It makes it the obvious choice for really heavy stuff like AI training or high-end graphics workstations. But, and it's a big but, look at the limitation. It's a strict 1 GPU per VM rule. And things like live migration? Nope. Not happening. You are trading all of that operational flexibility for raw, unadulterated power.
Okay, but what if you don't need a dedicated sports car for every single person? What if your goal is to get a whole bunch of people where they need to go efficiently? Well, that brings us right to our next technology, virtual GPU or vGPU.
So, vGPU flips the script completely. Instead of dedicating the hardware, it cleverly lets many virtual machines share a single physical GPU. The shuttle bus analogy is just perfect. Everybody gets a ride, the resource is used way more efficiently, and you can serve a much larger group of people, even if nobody gets that crazy dedicated speed.
So how does this magic actually work? Well, it's kind of like a three-step dance that the hypervisor leads. First, it creates these virtual GPUs for each virtual machine. Then, and this is the key part, it uses a scheduler to give each VM tiny slices of time on the real GPU. We're talking milliseconds here. And finally, it carefully walls off the GPU's memory for each user so everyone's data stays separate and secure.
And that brings us to the core trade-off, right? This is really the heart of the matter. vGPU is without a doubt the champion when it comes to density. It's perfect for things like virtual desktop infrastructure, or VDI, where you want to cram as many users as possible onto a single piece of hardware to save money. Pass-through, on the other hand, is the king of raw performance, built for those massive AI jobs that need every single drop of power.
Now, you might be thinking, what if you could have both? What if you could get sharing, but also get guaranteed isolated performance? Well, that's exactly where our third technology comes in, NVIDIA's multi-instance GPU, or MIG.
MIG is a total game changer. Why? Because it's not just clever software tricks like time slicing, it literally partitions the GPU at the hardware level, creating what are essentially smaller, fully independent GPUs. And the analogy here is great, a corporate garage with a whole fleet of cars. You're not all piling onto one shuttle bus. Each person gets their own dedicated smaller vehicle. You get your own key.
And that number right there, 7, that's pretty incredible. You can take one massive high-end GPU and slice it into up to 7 completely separate instances. Each one has its own dedicated memory, its own cache, its own compute engines. This is true hardware isolation, which means you get a guaranteed quality of service. You don't have to worry about a noisy neighbor hogging all the resources.
And here's where it gets really sophisticated. You can actually combine MIG with the other technologies we've talked about. So why would you do that? Well, imagine you create those 7 MIG instances. You could use pass-through to give each of those 7 instances to 7 different VMs, guaranteeing that none of them can interfere with each other. Or you could take just one of those instances and then use vGPU to share it among an even larger group of users who don't need as much power. The flexibility is just incredible.
Okay, enough theory. That's how the tech works. Let's talk about how this stuff actually applies to the real-world jobs you're trying to run.
This chart does a really nice job of summing it up visually, especially for those compute-heavy tasks. Right at the top, you've got GPU pass-through, basically giving you bare metal speed. A MIG instance is just a step behind, giving you really strong but partitioned performance. And then you have vGPU, and its performance is variable, right? The more people you pack onto that shuttle bus, the slower the ride is for everyone.
So let's talk about AI training for a second. These workloads are absolute monsters. They can run for days, even weeks, and they need every bit of compute power they can get constantly. That's exactly why GPU pass-through is the king here. It gives those data scientists the direct, no-compromises access they need. MIG is also really useful here, but more for the development and testing phases, where a researcher might just need a smaller, but still dedicated, slice of that GPU power.
Now let's swing to the complete opposite end of the spectrum, VDI. With VDI, the name of the game is density. Think about a typical office worker. Their GPU usage is super bursty. They'll need a bunch of power for a second, and then it'll sit idle. vGPU was literally made for this. It lets you support dozens of users on a single GPU, which makes the cost per user way, way lower. And you can tailor profiles for everyone, from a basic task worker to a power user with a bunch of monitors.
So, with all of this on the table, how do you actually make a decision? Well, it all comes down to bringing it all together and aligning the right tech with what your business actually cares about.
Think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet. It's simple. If you need the absolute best performance, no questions asked, look at that top row, pass-throughs for you. You just have to be okay with that one-to-one mapping. If your main goal is getting the most users on a single piece of hardware to keep costs down, look at the vGPU row. You'll sacrifice some peak performance, but you'll win on cost efficiency. And if you need a smart balance, good density, but with that rock-solid guarantee of hardware isolation and performance, then MIG is where you need to be looking.
And honestly, this is the single most important thing to remember. There is no such thing as the best technology. It just doesn't exist. The perfect choice for an AI research team will be the absolute wrong choice for a call center's VDI setup. The right answer is always found by looking at your workload first. So I'll leave you with this one simple question to guide your entire strategy. Look at these 3 pillars: raw performance, maximum density, or guaranteed isolation. Which one of those is the absolute non-negotiable priority for your next project? If you can answer that, you'll be well on your way to picking the right GPU virtualization strategy. Thanks so much for watching.